So, as the title says, an update on the Commodore theft, more specifically the VF Commodore as seen here in camera. Have the authorities done anything in regards to this real pandemic that's been happening over the past few months? Have they completely wiped their hands of this situation, don't want to know about it, or have they actually done anything? Well, in today's video, I'll go over the good news and not so good news of what's been happening over the past few months after the mainstream media, social media pages, and also other YouTubers doing videos on this Commodore theft. My name is Matt, and you're watching Curtis LSA TV. So a few months ago, myself and a few other YouTubers, along with the mainstream media and a lot of social media posts were put out there about the VF Commodore being stolen and how easy they were to be taken. If you want to actually check out that video that I did, click this link right here, you'll see what it's all about. And actually just on my actual video there, for some reason, well not some reason, when you put something out there these days, you get a lot of trolls replying when they think they're smart but they actually are not. That they for some reason believe that I said that when I put my video out there, it stopped this VF Commodore theft. I never stated that. Please show me and put a timestamp on my video, which can be seen right here, where I actually stated I stopped this VF Commodore theft in my video. I never once stated that. And to those actual trolls, if you don't like my videos, simply don't click on them. I do not effing care. I'm doing this and doing these videos because I care, and I want people, legit owners who own VF Commodores, should actually continue driving them and not scumbag criminals stealing these vehicles and stripping them down completely. So some good news finally on the Commodore theft. Here's a screen capture of a mainstream media outlet doing a report on this. I'll also put the link in the description below. Police and authorities have tracked down and come across a few warehouses in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, recovering, I think it reads 15 stolen vehicles. Many of them are later model Commodore, so that would obviously mean VF and or VE Commodore range. Some of the owners got their cars back, unfortunately others didn't, as they were beyond repair and recovery. Here's another report from another mainstream media outlet, also in the link in the description below. Also reports pretty much the same thing. Authorities have been tipped off about a warehouse in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, about vehicles being stolen. Many of them were later model Commodores. So here's a photo of what's happening with a lot of these VF Commodores. This photo here, right, is not just a common thief walking down the street with a screwdriver in their hand going out for a joyride, right? These have been stolen, taken to warehouses and stripped down. Yes, there might be some cases where the higher up of these organised crime syndicates are paying these common criminals just to steal these and take them to the warehouse so they can be stripped. But in most cases, this is just not an average scumbag criminal walking down the street with a screwdriver. So some more good news is that these videos being put out by myself and other YouTubers, mainstream media outlets and social media posts, that people are actually starting to put anti-theft devices on their VF Commodores, more specifically the IGLA immobilizer, where you got to put a code in to be able to start the vehicle. You could technically leave the vehicle out in the street unlocked with the keys in it, and they wouldn't be able to start it and drive away with it without that code. So yes, of course, if someone has a tow truck, they could tow it away. I'm not denying that. But what common criminal is walking down the local street with a tow truck in their pocket? It's just not possible. So the IGLA immobilizer, steering wheel lock, horn relocation kit, GPS tracker, they all work. So the notice is actually getting out there, but let's get to the bad news. So the bad news is unfortunately it's still happening. Not as much, but it's still happening. I've noticed 2 this week on VF Commodore pages that were stolen. Here's a screen capture of those actual 2. So yeah, it's not as much, at least it's not 15 to 20 a week. It's only about 2 to 3, maybe 5 a week. So it is coming down. But I actually asked these people in these posts, did they put any anti-theft devices on their actual Commodores? And pretty much their replies were no, because I believe that wouldn't happen to me. And also on the topic of vehicles being stolen, like a Volkswagen Golf or a Toyota Corolla or an MG electric vehicle, whatever the hell they are, right? I'm getting a lot of comments and people stating, oh, there's many other vehicles being stolen out there, not just a VF Commodore. Why don't I do a video about those? Well, for starters, I own a VF GTS, which you can see here in camera. this is one of the vehicles that's being highly stolen. You know, hell, my VH Commodore, you could easily leave the keys inside and lock the door by mistake. I used to actually use a pallet blue strap, as you can see here, push it down the window sill and actually hook it around the door knob and pull it up and break in. So I know those vehicles are being stolen, but me being an owner of a VF Commodore is the reason why I'm doing this video. So in regards to the anti-theft devices, your IGLA mobilizer, your horn relocation kit, steering wheel lock, GPS tracker. Yes, of course, if a criminal had a angle grinder or bolt cutters that could cut the steering wheel lock off, I'm not denying that at all, right? But these devices here can slow most of these common criminals down. It's more so of a deterrent is the right word. If they're walking down the street once, they'll see it and, oh, he's got a steering wheel lock, and I'm going to have to come back with a angle grinder or something, and most times the criminals won't come back in the street. So it's more so of a deterrent than it is to prevent these being stolen. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing. If you've watched my videos before, please consider liking and sharing also. My name's Matt and you've been watching Curtis LSA TV.